What do you regret buying the most? One time the grocery store had Bree's Reese's peanut butter cup ice cream on sale, 2 for $6, and I like that stuff, so I was stoked. I stopped in the store on my way home from work a little after 1 AM and grabbed the ice cream and went to the self-checkout and rang them up, and apparently the sale had ended about an hour prior to that, so they rang up as $6 and change each. I walked out of that store with 2 quarts of ice cream for $13 and a bad fudgy mood about it. That hasn't gone away for years now lol. Who would have guessed that this would have blown up overnight like it did. Lol for those who suggested it. I did talk to the girl who was working at the time overseeing the self-checkout lanes. After showing her my receipt and explaining what happened, she said the computers switch over automatically at midnight and there wasn't much she could do from the spot she was at the self-checkout. She did say however that we could both walk about 40 feet to the customer service desk and she'd refund me the full price of both ice creams and resell them to me at the discounted sale price. If I remember correctly, I was tired and worn out and defeated from a long day of work and just wanted to eat some dang ice cream. So I smiled and said it's alright and walked out of the store. Sometimes ya gotta cut your losses and just pay for the ice cream. One time my mom gave me $20 to spend at camp. I was stoked as this never happened. Last day of camp, still haven't found anything to buy. Desperate, I traded it to someone for a $5 so I could buy soda from the vending machine, as it doesn't accept $20s. For a long while I still thought it was perfectly reasonable as it wasn't my money. Now, dang it. Once when I was pretty little, I asked my mom for $1. This was the 80s in Canada, so we still had $1 and $2 bills. She only had a $2 and gave it to me. I was upset because it wasn't $1, so I ripped it half. I was smart enough to know that half of $2 was $1, but not smart enough to know that $2 is greater than $1. I still shake my head at how mad I was over something so stupid. An electric blanket. I'm addicted to it now. It's too hard to get out of bed, even harder than before. Honestly, I went through a phase where I became addicted to buying mists and lotions from Bath and Body Works. About 100 different bottles later I've realized I'm not even that into them. /edit. Thank you guys for all the cake day wishes. I don't even get this many wishes on my actual birthday lol. It's not your fault. You go to get one thing and it's 3 for 10. So you get 3. Then the girl is like 8 for 20. So you get doubles of your 3 and 2 for gifts. Then she says great. But you shall get 4 more because it's 12 for 25. So you end up getting raspberry sundae cream sparkle surprise for your neighbor's cousin and literally anyone else you can think of. Then the girl says, okay sounds good, but you know it's 36 for $45, and then it all becomes a blur. Then you have 6 bags of stink and a coupon for $10 off your next purchase of $30 or more, and you just jump in the mall fountain and drown yourself. My first pack of cigarettes. E1. Thanks to all for the support. I was sort of forced to smoke while living in China, but I still remember the first time I bought a pack to get me through until the next banquet. Hard to explain fully. Now, 16 years later, I just hate myself. I'm on the patch now, but still not done. A rare mattress which my cat popped as I was airing it up for the first time. My cat popped mine too. I would blow it up every night, fall asleep, and wake up on the floor every morning. He also popped my mom's exercise ball while she was watching him for me, which I had to pay for. Man, I miss that little fajir. A $4,000 foam bed. I don't even think it is comfortable. One of the dumbest things I have ever wasted my money on, and it was so much money. Felt good to get that off my chest. Thanks guys. I bought the Certai Comfort C aching for around $3K. Holy god, what a piece of crap. You sweat buckets sleeping on the dang thing, and now, 5 years later, there are 2 human-shaped mushy dents on either side. I constantly dream that I'm falling because it feels like you're rolling downhill, even if you sleep directly in the center of the mushy spot. 14,500 poker coins for $99. Why? Why? When I was 10, my mom gave my $50 to spend at this store that had a lot of wacky stuff. Of all the things I could have bought as a 10-year-old, I chose an overpriced pillow that cost $50. Mom was ticked, and to this day I'm made fun of for buying a $50 pillow. Every aftermarket modification I made to my cars between 2001 and 2005. Microtransactions on a mobile game. Spent $80 in total, and within a month then figures I got were obsolete. Glad I dropped it, but regret even giving them money. I know a guy who has spent $10k on microtransactions for a single game. He has the disposable income to support the habit, but fudge. I bought an engagement ring for a girl in college I thought I wanted to marry. When I showed it to her she freaked out. Now I was stuck with a ring that the department store would not take back or refund me. After some haggling they agreed to exchange the ring for a store credit. I ended up getting a down sleeping bag. Turned out to be a better deal in the long run. In 1979, my wife and I decided that the 1973 Celica I had when we met and married needed to be replaced. We took our savings and bought a 1979 Chevy Chevette. Look it up if you want a laugh. One time I went to turn left and the turn signal handle broke off in my hand. Most of the time we owned it, it would start okay cold, but if it was warm and say you stopped for gas, it would not start unless you opened the hood and someone held a wire to bypass the solenoid, I think, while someone else turned the key. Eventually my wife had to train our child to turn the key while she held the wire in place to start the car. When we could finally afford to upgrade and get rid of the car, it had no value whatsoever. I gave it away to a young man who liked to work on cars. I took no money because I didn't want the guilt. Portable DVD player, $450. When VCR first came out, we paid nearly $800 for it. It included free movie rentals for a while. My bachelor's degree, that I still technically haven't paid for. My Mini Cooper. Love the car, but I couldn't really afford it when I got it, and I couldn't work on it myself because all the parts are so compact and need special tools, and it has been a maintenance nightmare. The dealer said it only needed an oil change every 15k miles, which I followed, which led to needing an engine rebuild after 90k miles. $1,800 deposit on a study abroad course at my university. I ended up choosing not to go because I was rapidly losing weight and couldn't stop crapping, like chronically. I literally thought I was dying. Found out a few months and one colonoscopy later that it was just lactose intolerance. Edit. Yeah, I know my entire college education was a waste cause I can't spell course. Thanks guys. Bread machine and other random kitchen crap I don't need. Edit. Oh hey r/Reddit. Y'all have inspired me to pull my bread machine out of the closet. The biggest reasons I don't use it are because I like the bread that came out of it, but I didn't love it. It could have been the recipe. Also just having the time to throw all the things in there. Our grocery store has fresh bread for $1 on the weekends. It seems the time I'd spend putting it together equals more than $1. A $1,000 suit that I only wore a handful of times over the years before I lost weight and it stopped fitting me well, and b, its cut started looking dated and unfashionable. I bought it after college because I'd always heard every grown man needs at least one good suit. You'll use it a lot over the years, and suits are timeless, so you can keep it forever. I'm sure some guys would get more mileage out of a suit, but not the case for me. Trip to Disneyland. Mike had loved it, but we found ourselves suddenly in a bad financial situation that, had we not gone, wouldn't be a situation at all. My ex-wife's engagement ring. It would prove to be the biggest, most costly mistake of my entire life. It drained me financially, emotionally, and spiritually. Never again. Putting my crap in a storage unit and then moving 1,000 miles away. Sure, I'll come back and get it in a month or two. I thought. I had that for cheer for 4 years and biannually so they would call to inform me that the price had been hiked up another $50. I finally cleared it out this year. Never again. An entire year's worth of rent for a crappy apartment. Had no heat, cracks, and gaps letting bugs in constantly, and really crappy neighbors that would steal anything we left outside in the bag. They claimed they had utilities, but they were broken, and our half of the front yard was completely ruined because our neighbor used it to play fetch with his dog for years. When we finally complained about the heat, our realtor suggested we buy a space heater, and when we told her that was unacceptable, she had a plumber come out. Turns out the landlord didn't even bother to turn on the boiler, and it was December & Co. It was $1,100 a month. After our lease ended, we found an amazing condo on the main street with all utilities, heat, personal parking, and AC for $1,100 a month. All the alcohol I've consumed in my 5 years of being an alcoholic, $30 a day, sometimes more, for 5 years, comes out to over $54,000. 4 days sober and counting. I've got a long journey ahead of me. Edit. Okay, this got way more attention than I expected. Thank you all for your kind words. I'm definitely struggling a lot, and everything people are saying helps. I'm gonna go back to crying now, but less sad about how much damage I've done to myself and others, and more grateful that people believe in me. Edit 2. Again. Holy crap, this is getting a lot of attention. Thank you all so much. Today is day 5, and I'm staying busy cleaning up my house. My friend is taking me to a movie tonight, and next week, I'm going to a ballet class for the first time in about 9 years with another friend. I have so much support, both from my friends, and now from a bunch of strangers here. It means a lot to me, after struggling and isolating myself for so long. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Drop a like if you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe. Smiley face.